Welcome back to Titan. So last time I got quite a lot of work done downstairs, and I'm going to be continuing with that theme this time. Before we do anything else, let's just go. I just want to get this welded, and I want to find out where that data cable is. Yeah, that's going to need some sorting. Right, okay, so, yeah, of course, that needs a frame there. Does it need one above it? Probably, yes it does. Oh dear, that's actually a bit of a mess, isn't it? We've got data cables going across that and all sorts. Okay, well, that's not too bad to fix, actually, looking at the positioning of that cable. Just got to figure out how to get it around the pipes in the right way. It's the only thing that might be a little bit tricky. This end's fine, it can just run along here, but it's that bit there. How am I going to get that to connect? I've got too many pipes here, I've got to jet back over. Right. That. Actually that is quite tricky. Right. If I can bring that through a bit earlier. I wonder if I can just bring that through there. There's not a lot of space, is there? That's probably the easiest way to get that branch going that way. Is to connect it across here. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll put that in there. Okay, and then that can come down there. That can go there. Okay, that now means I don't need to worry about that bit. Well, I mean, I will do. Let's get that connected there. Whoops, can't get the hotspot. There we go, thank you very much. Right. Okay, that's fine, that's back on. Reconnected. Right. Now then, so what I now have as a challenge is how do I get this I guess I'm going to have to run it, unless I use that actually to create a branch that runs. Maybe we'll do that. Yeah, we'll run a branch parallel. Whoops, that was right the first time. Run a branch here that goes parallel to this pipe. And then drops down. Somehow to connect to there. You can let me do that? Okay, I don't feel like it should let me do that, but it's going to, so I'm not going to complain. Connect that there. That there. Actually, thinking about it, what I want is, I don't want that there, I want that there. There we are, and then this whole section can come out. Right, okay, good. So, up and over. That becomes a corner. Let's turn my jetpack off because I can't actually work when I'm getting spun around. There we are. Right, okay, that's it. And then all of this comes out. Nice. Okay, good. And then that can go in there. And I can weld that. Didn't even get blown off the roof. That was a nice surprise. Right, okay. So that's that part done. Now I need to just clean up round here. That's fine, because at some point I can probably dismantle all of that now, actually. I don't need a drain on that airlock anymore. That can just be moved elsewhere. Not sure really where, but anywhere else. Okay, and then that's actually ready to be decommissioned. Right, okay, so... Oh yeah, I needed to check where the... Oh, I'll take that. Right, so... Question is, where are the... is that the green frames there? Yes, it is. Okay, so that's my data network. Oh, well, that's nice and easy, isn't it? That's nice and easy. Let's throw that along there. Yeah, okay, alright. I'll take that. That way round. Thank you very much. Right, that was unexpected. I mean, actually, that means I could drop it through all the way along here. Which would be superior. It would be more superior if I could see what I was doing. Get out of the way. Yes, and of course you want to roll into that same corner, don't you? Yes, I know we all want to play in the corner. Right, that way round. Okay. So that is 2 full frames from there. So I think that's probably about where the edge of the kitchen is. Okay. Just grab that pollutant and put it on there for now. Now the other thing while I move out here is, first of all, let's see if I've got any more in there. Right, so there's definitely some more pollutant, but that looks to me like some CO2 ice, if I can work out where it's formed. There it is. Nice. I can go on to there. Okay, that's all good. That damage is at 99%. I think I should probably dismantle that and rebuild it. That's at 100%, that's at 100%, that's at 100%, and oh, that one's actually blown out completely. I don't know how I didn't notice that. Okay. I mean, I guess it's still functioning, is it? I really oh, you can't actually see it's blown from here, can you? Look, there's some more. There we go. Yeah. I don't know whether that still counts as a room with that wall blown out. Let's go in and see. If it does, then I don't actually care. It does. Okay. Okay, so that's actually probably fine. It should still... Oh, there's 122 solid fuel still in there. Yeah, it's just obviously off-gassing too much, isn't it? I need to think about this, because there's got to be a better way to do this than having the walls blow up all the time. Needs a bit of work. Right, actually, let's use the airlock that's... I don't care. It doesn't matter which airlock I use. It's the same work either way. Let's go through this airlock. Right, now I want that CO2 ice though. That will be very useful. Okay, let's make those 2 plastic sheets I needed. Whoops. Okay, I guess we've got some volatiles in there. Right, I want a couple of frames. One to fill in the gap where the original door was. And I still need one for outside. Which means I need 4 steel sheets. Just do that manually. 2, 3. Right, we're also going to want a bunch of pipes. Not quite sure how many. Probably more than 20 though. Let's go for 40. Get that making. Right, these can go... Should have cycled that airlock anyway, that would have been much more convenient. Just do that. Oh, okay, I didn't quite expect that to... What the hell? Whoa, 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 whoa! What is happening? That airlock should not have cycled in the way it did. That just opened without depressurising first. Which is not really ideal. Okay, nothing actually got destroyed, so I'll take it, but that was not the expected outcome. Where's the steel sheets? Got blasted all the way over there. Okay, that could have been bad because I could have actually detonated these. Okay, I think it looked worse than it was. I think there wasn't enough atmosphere in here for it to be truly terrible. But that wasn't ideal. I did not enjoy that. I don't think it vented. It must have had liquid volatiles in it that didn't drain properly. I guess. I don't know. Strange. Very strange. Temperature in here is slowly coming up. It's very cold. Yeah, it must have let external atmosphere in. It's far too cold. That was very weird. Okay, well, it didn't kill us, but yeah, there's something definitely didn't quite happen as expected there. Right, I'm going to need these. I'm going to need some khaki paint. No, you're going in there. In. Cute. Right. I really am going to have to actually go and sort that out soon, aren't I? I can hear it just rattling away out there. Right, we need some red, I noticed last time. We're definitely going to want at least one khaki. We're going to want some vents. We're going to want some pressure regulators. The whole works. Gold. I have gold. Okay, let's put that in there. One more. No, not quite going to have enough iron. Do we have more iron? I do have more iron. Right, that's the minimum amount of regulators and vents. Might need more, but that will be enough to get started. Almost certainly going to need more, actually. Going to need insulated pipe and all sorts as well, because I need to bring this liquid nitrogen downstairs somehow. Don't even know how I'm going to get that from here inside there and all the rest of it, but we'll worry about that probably in about 20 episodes time. Okay, well, no, what am I doing? I dragged the wrong thing. Right, what's the amount of toxins in there? 1%. Okay, it's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. Yeah, that must have brought external air in. It's far too cold otherwise. Right, this we can re-site at some point out in that suiting room, which will be much more sensible. Or I'll put in a proper permanent one, but for now, having some capability is helpful. That can go in there for now. That's all the bits. Right, one more thing. How are we looking in here? No, not the water. Okay, 11%. That's actually pretty good, isn't it? CO2. And we'll also open this one. 27%. Not for long. We'll let that settle, but even so, that's still pretty good. %. Right, okay. Plants photosynthesize. That is your one job. Okay, we're up to 82 kPa in here, so I started to recover from my atmospheric mess up. In fact, it's very breathable in here now, which is good. Get down the stairs. Oh, that was a terrible throw. Go that way. Right. Kick it down. Okay, there we go. Right, so first things first, I'm going to close that up. That behind there is where I'm going to be putting a frame, but I've got to take the outer door off first, which is why I want that sealed. Okay. So I actually think this is going to have come through in where we're going to put the kitchen. There it is. There it is. The purple cable of data. So let's get that along there. Right, good. So that's fairly much out of the way in that room. Now the trick is going to be, this is obviously a vertical shaft. I need not to interfere with that, but I do need to get the data cable in there. And I'm not really sure the best way to do that, honestly. So I'm going to take the easy solution for a minute, which is to just move all the other bits through here and not think about it too much. Right. Okay, so what we do need to do, we need to bring, so we're definitely going to need to bring air services down and waste up. Then I need to think about where I'm going to actually set up down here. Logically, I probably want to ventilate in and out of the corridor. Yes, it's the downside of dumping everything in here. Right. Don't yet know which way around these are going to end up going. Now, the trouble is with that is going to create a situation where it's a bit fiddly. So you get up and down, because I will be putting a ladder in here, so I think I'm going to do that like that, and we'll just deal with it once I take the take that frame out. Now, just trying to think top side configuration of air versus waste to work out which of these is going to be most useful for which one. Well, we might have to switch them over. Inside there, but I'll do it this way around for now. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do, we need space to run one along there and one along here. Let's run one this side, and then I've got space to put lights along the middle, which is always nicer. And we will put a waste vent in there. Obviously what I'm trying to do is to rig this up so that we can have air and waste right around this floor. Probably do something similar here. There we go. That can become a corner. Before I lay the last one, where's the 5? There it is. Thank you very much. Okay. Throw them in there for now, just keeps them out of the way. Obviously I'm going to put the pressure eggs in, but they will be inside there. I don't want them out on display. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the 5. Nice. Corner. No, just a normal corner would be fine, thank you. And similarly, we'll run that along there. The reason I'm doing this, I should leave me a middle run that I can use for either lights or cables or both. Obviously, if I'm putting a light in the middle, I'm going to have to run the cable network carefully and loop it around these pipes, but okay, that's a start. So we'll keep those there, and I'm going to split that. And I'm going to paint one of them. Throw that in there. And then the other thing we're going to have to do is figure out how to cable all of this. Which is also a bit of a challenge, honestly. Well, let's think about this. When I come down, where am I going to want lights? Probably one about there, and I can put one on there. If I put this vent here, there we go. Right, okay, it's a start. Seal that. It's fiddly doing this because I've got to bear in mind what's going on above as well as what's going on downstairs. Right, now I do want to take that frame out as well at some point, don't I? Which means I'm going to need more floors. Now this is shut, that's good. Okay. Yeah, so I can run the waste line across there and the clean air line. Actually, I need to get them all out of this enclosure, to be honest. I did have some more plastic sheets. The clean air line. Oh, that's for these though. I think that is going to need to be modified and go sideways and up and across. This actually gets a bit tight, doesn't it? Mind you, all of that assembly can come out. Potentially, at least. Decisions. Right. Then the other bit I need to think about This was where I needed the red paint. The other thing I need to think about is power. Okay, so the power is running just right behind the wall here, which is actually very convenient. So I can run it down the inside of this frame here. Okay, that gives me a reasonable working assumption. Actually, if I were to make some ladders so that we can get up and down a bit more easily, I could actually... I need to move the fridge, that's the only thing. Let's do it. Right. So we need a ladder. Not even sure how many I'm going to need. Let's make 3. I do need lights, yes, but probably not now. Right, I'm definitely going to need more cable as well, aren't I? So I may as well just make another. Uh, 40, have I got enough for 40? Yeah, go on, do it. Definitely going to use it. Right. In fact, there's a 50 copper there, so we'll just chuck that straight in there. Right, okay. So that's a ladder. Also want some flat wall, because I think that's a nicer style for using as flooring. So let's have, how many of them do I want? Probably 4 for that landing area. Just as you go down the stairs. I certainly need 2 for the side that needs filling in, but steel sheets, 4 of them. Two, 3, 4. Right, okay, that will do. And that's that one. And there's my cable. Lovely. I'll add it to that. Okay. Right, I think it might be time to cut through. I'm wondering if I've got enough pipes. Almost certainly don't have, do I? I'll make another 20. I can come back for them, but at least if I know they're making, that's a start. Right, okay, let's do this. Okay, so I lost a bit of pressure when I went through that door there. 68. Okay. This is going to be a bit mad for a minute. But this is the way we need to do it. I hope I remember to shut the door downstairs. I did. Going down. There we go. Right. The genius of this is... well, genius is a strong word, but you can start to see, I mean, it looks a bit mad with the fridge up there, but what the overall plan was. Right, so what I'm thinking is, I can get a ladder into that side. Okay, that now gives me the ability to get up and down somewhat, at least. It's not ideal because it's a bit awkward with the pipes, but right. Now then. Power. Let's route that straight down the middle. Obviously, the intention is that once this is all done, I shouldn't need a jetpack to fly up and down here. Clearly for now, we'll just do what we need to do. Right, now, I think if I were to put a junction in like that, we can bring cable down here, but we can also run it from floor level as required. We can also run it along the ceiling in the kitchen. Let's just do that for now. Right, now I've got to figure out what to do with these pipes. So, probably where I want to be is the pressure regs, somewhere that I can see up here, to be honest. Yeah, that's the wrong tool. Let's take that off there, and that off there, and have that go up there, round there. Now actually I'm just thinking. That would be more efficient just to bring it around there. And up there. That's better. There we go. And then this should be able... Whoops. Just put me on the ladder, I think. Now, how am I going to do this? I don't really want this coming out too far into the room. That's the only thing. No, hang on. Actually, I want the yellow pipe on this side anyway. Thinking about the layout up the top. Do not bust the frame, thank you. Okay, that's good. Right. That can go one more and then up. Okay, well, oh, I thought the fridge was in the way, but it's not. I just don't have enough pipe. Okay, that starts to see what goes where anyway. And then we'll have a pressure regulator, but I want it going downwards. A pressure regulator there. And go around there, across there, there. Okay, that's good. And the back pressure regulator will go up there, so the cabling for that we'll have to modify when we move the fridge, but that's fine. And see how that fits together now. Which leaves me with the last challenge of how do I get that from there. And actually it may not even be a difficult challenge because I think I can run it through here now. Nice. Okay, so we'll leave that there for now, we'll leave that there for now. See, this is going to decompress a little when I open that because we're at 28 kPa and out here is at 2. Not enough to cause any problems. Good, okay, and then we've got the data cable coming out, so I want the data cable to end up in there. Now I can't put stuff in this frame in front here because that's going to be where the elevator is, but when that comes out I will be able to use that space behind, which I think I can do now actually. Let's find out. Okay. That was quite a rush of cold air, but it's only taken up to 88, so I think that was just what was trapped inside this one. Which is fine. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. And then I think if I remove that frame, obviously we will repaint all these frames back to how they should be later, but put that in there and then weld that one. Yeah, alright. Oh, I realised as I did that that was going to happen. Still only -9 in here. It's not too bad at the moment, but it's probably not too nice to be standing in all that fire. Okay, there we go. That's good enough. Right, where's the mining drill? There it is. Right, you lot come out of there. All the way back. I need a frame in the floor here, obviously. Right, okay, no harm done, amazingly. So what I'm hoping is that this will not interfere with an elevator. And I can put that there. I need to run it far enough back so it's not in the way of the elevator cable, which will run in the first, that will run in this piece here. So let's put it, let's go back one more. What the hell, it's only 2 bits of wire in total. In fact, I may as well just run it along the back wall. Okay, now I think if I've done that right, there's enough space for the elevator power to run up and down in that space there. See, this blue one will come out and is part of the actual elevator shaft. The orange one will also come out. Obviously, yes, for that we need to just finish sorting out the outside. Okay, that all looks acceptable. Let's open this and let the delightful polluted atmosphere in here mix with the atmosphere out here, and in fact I think the sensible thing to do is probably to try and just burn that off so that we don't have any unpleasant surprises. Oof, that's made it hot, hasn't it? It's made it hotter than I expected. Let's shut that. Let's be in a small confined space where it finishes burning off. 94 degrees. I am surprised that there was enough in there to cause that much of a burn, to be honest. Especially when this is all closed in. Oh well, there we are. It's now at 93.7 degrees. Guess I should restart this, suck all that back into here. Not least because I'm going to want, let's have monochrome small panels. We will have those there, and I want to take that one out in a minute. That will allow me to take out that purple frame there. This is fiddly work, to be honest, but it has to be done this way. Right. Okay, next thing to do is let's just 1, 2, 3. Lovely. I'm going to split half those. Shut that. That bit's now finished with. And then this is where the, want of a better word, server room is going to be. So, in fact, I'm just going to leave the cable in here so that I've got it when I want it. That's the destination I need to get it to. And then obviously it will be fairly straightforward just to run it through that wall into the control room. So that's good. Right. So I should be able to take that one out. Probably should have shut that door before I started removing frames. It's probably sensible. Too late now, but you know. Right, and slightly crazy. Right, we'll put that on the floor there. So let's re-weld that. There's the welder. Why did that not finish welding? That was weird. Okay, good. And then obviously we need to put a frame on the back wall into that space there. This is where the shower's going to go, but that frame is going to be required for access. Right, and we need to repaint some of these, so I need to make some grey paint when I'm upstairs to recolour them back to how they were. Otherwise my base is going to look a little bit crazy. Good, okay, 426 degrees in there. Delightful. I should probably just leave this open actually and just let this vacuum out. Right, in fact, this will speed it up anyway because I'm only going to remove that. Right, they can go there. I'm going to grab that. I'm going to switch that to there, and I'm going to put that away, and I'm going to put that there, and that on there. Right, and those can just be stored here for now because they are for the rest of that floor, but I may as well wait until I'm ready to take that tank out. It's just slightly less mess to make. And that and those can drop in here because they will form the back wall that's going to go in there. But I want to seal that frame up first, so I need one more frame down here. Actually, I could just use iron frames. Let's just do that. No point in wasting them, is there? It's not like I'm going to see this bit very much. Good, okay. That's fine. I'll then not seal that yet because I want to wait until it's fully sorted with pressure. Right, okay, that's that cleaned up. So open these because they will have some hot gas trapped in them that I want to vacuum out. Right, how much have we actually got in here now? Let's have a quick look. Okay, quite a lot, 1,000 moles of oxygen at 149 degrees. So it would be quite useful to be able to get that back into circulation at some point. I'll leave that running on a vacuum for now. Actually, it says it's at 1 kPa. How much are we really talking about in here? Less than a mole. Much less than a mole in this whole space. Okay. And let's close things back up at that point. And back upstairs. To be honest, I'll just turn that off, that'll be fine. It's that sort of point where even just opening this door will probably cool it down, yeah. Right. So, hunger critical. Now of course, next problem is this. Can I access the fridge from the ladder? No, I can't. Ah! Okay, that didn't really work, did it? Right. I mean, it's actually safe to eat in here. There we go. That solved that, although whether I can get back out again is a different matter. I don't think I actually can. Oh no, there we are. Get that out of the way. Right, I need to move that fridge. It was a bit of a problem already, but I've just realised quite how mad it is now. Right, actually, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll dismantle it. We'll drop down there. And I will grab the wheat, and I'm going to make the wheat into flour. Oh, I really need to build the last piece of this ladder assembly. Yeah, that's actually really annoying. Right, let's fly through here. Right, there we go. Right, and then that goes there. Lovely.
Hydration critical.
Okay. Really do need to deal with that reasonably quickly, but let's just see if I can sort this first. There we go. Perfect. So other than the fact that I need more pipe work, that's in actually a pretty good state. Right, now what I was going to do is to put this in here and make it into flour, please. There we go. That solves that problem. Right. Just realised I've been wandering around this whole time with my helmet open, so clearly it's very breathable in here. Hadn't even noticed. Right, okay, and we'll just put the flour in there because it's not going to decay. Okay, right, I'm fed and watered. And the fridge needs to end up downstairs, so see ya. Done, right. Okay, next stop, outside to seal up the frame behind here. And Yeah, that computer's going downstairs. That's probably best through in there. Okay, so let's start dismantling some of this stuff that's going with me. Definitely that one. Probably all actually from there. Yeah, the computer will move downstairs when I'm going. Now, we're not really ready to do anything with that yet, so I need to rig that up out here. Anything else I need? Probably, but I can't remember what it is, so let's just do it. Oh yeah, I should probably do that. What I am going to do is a real quick fix is I'm just going to set that to 0 on both sides though, so that at least this cycles fast. There we go, right. Temporary housing can go there. That was just a bit of, I thought there was some wheat on the floor for some reason. It was just that. Get rid of that. There we go. Right. The blue paint, that's what's through there. Okay. So I've got the frames I need for the work outside. Do I need any more? Probably not. What I am going to do though is I'm going to go back and visit my mining hole and see whether that's looking any better. Did that wrong. Did that completely wrong. So I'll stash this while I'm out there as well. Right, okay, let's go. Oh, I forgot to check. Hope that's got has. That's good. That would have been really annoying. Oh, and I forgot to pick up the mining backpacks. Oh my god. Literally just said it and then I forgot to pick the backpack up. Right, first things first, I want to deal with this side. Something odd going on with liquids up there, isn't there? Flying liquid. Right, where is the entrance? I think it's around here. Yes, it is. Right, okay. So, first thing to do... Very first thing to do is to double check. Oh yeah, I welded it, didn't I? Double check that it's sealed. Okay, I don't see light through there. I think it's sealed. That's good enough for me. Right, let's... what do I need to dismantle this? Angle grinder? Yes. Okay, sucks me in a little bit. Okay, now I need to be reasonably quick about this because it won't be kind to me. There's a lot of pressure on that wall there. Okay, that's that sealed up. Good. Without incident. Even better. Right. Now I need to go and deal with the bit over here. That does need a bit more work. There we go. Right. Okay, now I'm going to put a frame into here. I need to move that. I need to obviously remove all of this. So let's start by working out. I mean, I could be as simple as just put it here, to be honest. That'll do for now, at least, won't it? And then wire cutters. And we're going to take all this crazy wiggly wiring here. And we're going to just run it round here. There we go. Nice and neat. Right, okay, next off I'm going to remove the pipe. Don't need to worry too much about that bit because I can access that from the inside once this is done. And I'm sure we'll have use of that later. That should have ended up in there. And then we'll grab that go. Throw that in there. Throw that in there. Let's get that onto here. What's in the way? Oh, there's a wall up the top. Okay, fine. Okay, that goes in there. Nice. And those, and the welder. Okay, there we go. Now, whilst I'm not suggesting it's a good idea right now, I think what that means, yes, is that that is now all sealed up with frames. And we could remove that orange frame when we need to, I think. Should not be able to see any orange poking through anywhere. No, we're good, because we put that in there, we've put that one in there. So that one is now safely removable. That's good news. Okay, so let's throw all of these bits back in here. Anything I don't need. Okay, that's fine. And these can go in here. That gives me maximum carrying space for whatever I might find. Okay, let's go and see what state things are over at the giant hole of doom. Let's close some of these windows up for a minute. It's getting a little bit cluttered. Right, keep an eye on that battery charge. There we go. Hopefully by now that gas pressure will have actually settled down. Find out whether all of that effort was actually for anything. Okay, come on. I'd like to go down, please. Okay, well, I'm going down now. Okay, not as fast as I feared. Seriously, we did all of that. We've blasted all the way down here, and there's nothing. There is nothing at all down here. That is truly disappointing. Truly disappointing. Thought we're bound to have something. Created this great big hole. Well, there we go. Well, that was a massive waste of effort, wasn't it? It's going to be about as good as I'm going to get, as I can see one piece there. Yeah, it actually has not in any way saved me anything at all. It's a good way of drilling a big hole relatively safely, but on this occasion it has not benefited me. Okay, well, probably should have sighted it better. Take some nitrous out of the surface here. You can see some. I'll take it. Can't see much. No, that's not going to start digging all over the place. Right, okay, well, that was very disappointing indeed. back to surface mining, I guess. The idea was good. Just didn't really work out. What's that? That's some CO2. I'll take that. I guess that came out of there when it exploded. Yeah, that's still creating ice though, so that's actually fine like that for now. Some more CO2. And some more CO2, so actually a decent amount there. Alright, well, guess we'll go back in then. Right, so, conscious of time, we're probably getting towards a sensible place to end the episode soon, but I'm going to try to lay in a little bit into that server room. We've certainly got the basics coming together now. Right, so I'm definitely going to need some IC housings, which means steel. There's some. I'm going to need to make more steel soon. That's not great, but there we go. That'll be enough to make 5. Let's just go with that. 4. There's not quite enough solder, but I have more solder, I think. Yeah. Get in there. Right, and I want some more doors. I've got one that I salvaged from outside, but I want some more doors because I'm going to use them to make roll covers, iron and copper. Right, there we go. That's a 50 of that. And $50 of that. And decrease that all the way down. So I want 3 of them. Right. Okay, so that's just churning through those. That's some more pipe, which I'm definitely going to need. Shall I make another batch? Probably worth it. Not quite worked out how much I need at the top to connect everything up yet. Right, now one thing I should do while that's doing that is, oh, that's not even connected, is it? It is now. No, turn on. Thank you. Okay, and we're up to 16 kPa in here now. Don't know what the atmospheric composition is, but it's not terrible. It's not terrible, actually. I reckon if I were to set this back up to something a bit more sensible now. What am I doing? This is a ridiculous way to do it. We're better off doing that and then coming back down from there. There we go. Why did that stop there? Ah, because I cut the power. Of course. Right, okay, I'll take those. Guess what? I'm going to need more cable in a minute.
Air tank low.
I know. I'll sort my air tank when I go in. Don't worry. It's all under control. Make it 50. Right, okay, that should be enough to get sorted out downstairs. At least with the server room. Actually, the other thing I could start on is, what do I need to make the elevator? Oh, okay, I thought it was made in here, but it's not. It's probably made in the electronics printer then. Okay, well, we won't worry too much about that for now. I needed grey paint as well, didn't I? And look, it's magically appeared on grey, ready. It knew what I wanted. Let's stick that in there. It's going along nicely. Could probably live with another couple of passive vents, to be honest. That would allow me to set up a better air circulation downstairs. There we go, all quiet. Well, except for the clattering sound behind there. Don't think I need anything else that's in here, do I? No, probably not. No, I don't think so. Okay, that's fine. It's good to try to remember before going anywhere. Do I need any of what's out here? I need to take that door, we'll add that to that stack there. Very much doubt I need that heavy cable, but we'll grab that anyway. Shouldn't need a drain. I shouldn't need those iron sheets. Will need those pipes at some point, but not yet. Well, that's an interesting point. Actually, I'll put them through there because I will want them to figure out where we're going to run the... I saw somewhere around here, I saw a black paint can. I'm sure I saw it. I didn't. I thought it was around here somewhere. Don't know. Anyway, whoops, no, I don't want to turn that on. I do want it though. So that can go in there. It's probably not the way to treat it really, throwing your laptop around. Pretty much guaranteed way to break it. Don't know whether we even had anything in this one. Little bit of coal, not much else. There's the black paint. Ah, hang on, that's not going to work. Right, there we go. Let's throw that in there. I'm only going to be putting those down as markers for now as to roughly where it's going to need to connect to, but that's fine. Have we got anything in that one? Oh yeah, I've got a fair bit of nitrice in that one. Okay, good. Alright, well, that will do. Let's get inside, do some more downstairs work. Yeah, I left that in setup mode, didn't I? Once I'm a bit more comfortable that the atmospheres are stable, I'll take that orange frame out, but I'm not quite comfortable to do that yet. Right, CO2. Oh, look at that. Loads of CO2. Even more in a minute. Pop that. Here we are, 20% CO2. Keep you happy for a little while, plants, won't it? Oh, I had grey paint after all. Oh, well. We got any more seeds? Soybean seeds? No, that's fine. Okay. A little bit more planting. I'll just try and balance this so that we don't run into the problems we had previously. But we have got a better supply of CO2 right now, and I basically need that to end up as oxygen. So as long as I don't kill all the crops, actually, the more we've got growing, the better. Okay, well, that's a start, isn't it? That's all the seeds replanted. Okay, right. Gonna need to eat in a minute, actually, I've just realised. I don't think I've got enough to make. Oh, I have if I harvest one of these soybean plants, haven't I? How much oil have I got? Oh no, I have got enough. I have got enough. Let's do it. French fries. Oh yeah.
Hunger, caution.
Okay, I need to get the fridge set up again now, of course. That's an incentive for me to get on and do it. That's good. Right, let's put that in there. Okay, let's go downstairs. To the airless hellscape that is the ground floor, or the basement. It's not quite airless, actually. It's just super hot. Right, so if we're going to put the kitchen in here, I'll drop my French fries there. They are going to decay really fast in this thin, horrible atmosphere.
Air tank critical.
I forgot to fill up my air tank, didn't I? Yeah, okay, that's actually going to be a problem pretty quickly. Right, so, not sure which side is the power, but I think it is that side. I think it's as simple as that. Except I can't actually turn it on. Why can't I turn it on? Maybe it wasn't that side, maybe it's this side. No, it's not picking up on the collider, and I've run out of air. So let's deal with that before I suffocate.
Oxygen low.
I know, that's where I'm going.
Low pressure.
That was a little bit close. I mean, I guess it wasn't too bad. It was more just dumb on my part for not topping that up. Let's dump the CO2. Right. Okay, now I've got to try and figure out what I'm going to do with this fridge because it's being very silly.
Oxygen.
Whoops. Okay, now. No, it's not having it. I'm going to have to actually move it just so that I can get an angle. Okay, so for the record, it was connected with the power in the right place. Guess we'll just have to put it facing that way and hope that I can reach the switch. No, the switch collider is actually broken. Now, how's that? Oh no, it's not quite. It just did it briefly. Yeah, I can do it like that. Okay, but I'm never going to be able to do that from that side, so we'll have to... It's irritating. Hopefully they'll fix that. Right. That's what I was looking for. That's odd, that collider thing. That must have happened since the last... There we go. Since the last time I installed the fridge. Because it was not a problem previously. Anyway, that is now in and working. We have a fridge. This is now the kitchen. Okay, that's all fine. That will give me the space I need to work up there. Just go away. Right, actually, the next thing I can do usefully is get in here and figure out where I'm going to cable these ICs in. I mean, the logical way to do it is to put them along there and there. And let's assume we're going to do the equivalent here. It's a bit of a mad way of arranging them, I realise that. So we'll have these along here. So that cable will need to come down one. And that can go through the wall there. We can use that to do whatever connections we need inside there. Go around there. Right, so let's connect that one in there. And that is actually connected and working because it has power. Fantastic. Right, okay, so the next thing I want to do is to put these There, and then along here, and along here, and along here. There we go. Nice and tidy. And then when we want to do any programming, we just open them up. There we are. Right, that is the beginnings of a server room. Okay, and then in here, this can be just dropped to the floor. No, what are you doing? Go down there. And we'll figure out where we're going to fit the various consoles and stuff, but that can sit in there. Right, good. Right, that's definitely coming together. So I think I'm going to try to connect the pipework up the top next. Can I reach the door from here? No. Ah, I do need that other bit of ladder. What do I dismantle a ladder with? Maybe the drill? Angle grinder. I suppose that makes much more sense, actually. Right, what I wanted is... Where's this? I thought there was a... There used to be a floor piece that... Maybe it's... Oh, it's the floor hatch, isn't it? That's what I need. Of course it is. Which means I need a door, which... I'm going to pinch one of these. I know I've just made this look nice, but I'm going to pinch one anyway. I'll make another door in a minute. I want to sort this out. That's the one. And we want it up there. There we are, that's what we want. And then we want the ladder end piece. Oh, ew. Do we want it there? That looks like it's going to make me smash my face into a wall. Okay, that kind of works. That needs to be welded, obviously. And I forgot to shut the door down there, which was dumb. Because I've got to do that before I come up. However, right, you get the general idea. I don't suppose I've got an iron sheet in here. No, of course I haven't. No, that would have been too convenient. Okay. Right, so actually those vents can just be dropped down there. Go on, go down there. So the other thing I have to figure out is where I'm going to get these water pipes through. Which ultimately need to come from there. Ooh, that looks horrible. We won't be doing that. Right. That might be the way to go with the water. Yeah, that's probably as good as it's going to get. I want it to go through that end there, but we might have to run it down onto the floor and along, I think. Unless I put it through there, which would be better. I mean, this is ultimately coming out. Yeah, actually, that would be better. That would be better. You can see I've really planned this carefully. Or not. Oh, come on, you're in the right place, and then I slipped. There we go. Right, okay, so that's where we'll connect the water supply. That's good. That'll get down to the shower. And I'll probably also put a drinking fountain in the kitchen, or maybe even a bottle filler and a drinking fountain. Okay, Good. Shut the door at the bottom of the stairs, did I? Which means when I open this, it's open all the way down. That's annoying. Where's the khaki paint? It's down the bottom. Of course it is. Right, well, guess I'm going down then. There it is. I suppose while I'm here I could at least take the opportunity to shut that door. And actually also I was going to that wall will need to be opened back up again later. But for now we may as well close it in. There we go. No, I don't want to paint anything there. Okay, good. So actually when I take one of those frames out, it can go to form the floor there. So we'll leave that grey paint in there, ready for that. Okay, slowly coming together. Slowly, slowly. Right, so that definitely needs to connect to there. That's just non-negotiable. Now, I need to get without really going into those two if I can, or certainly not into that one because that will be an elevator. Could run it across here, that's probably acceptable. Now I'm going to need to get air. Where's the air coming from? The air's coming in there, isn't it? Gonna need to reroute that slightly. So that will need to come up. Let's put the pressure reg for this room on there. Then bring this up. And along that space there. Okay. And oops, that way. Right, okay, so that one could run across the middle. Is it going to work with a 5? It's going to be just too long, of course it is. Okay, at least it should work with a 3. Okay, and a 1. Oops, okay, let's have that there. Okay, that's good. And where is it? There it is. Okay, that's good. Except now I've got to cross these over, haven't I? Did them the wrong way round. That's annoying. Is there any good way to do this differently? I'm going to need that in there. I'll put that way. Okay, it might be possible. Now, let's think about this. This could come underneath. Yeah, okay, so it could come underneath and then... If I bring it in this way instead... yeah, that'll work. Right. Yeah, that will work, and then that can go through there and connect up. I mean, I could even run it through there in parallel. Actually, that would be even tidier, wouldn't it? Reduce the amount of pipe work running across the ceiling in here. Yep, okay, right. So it looks a bit mad at the moment, but it will come together. Actually, that could now be a 5. Yes, there we go. That one there, that one goes there. Then I will turn that 90 degrees and connect it there. Is that fully connected? Yes, it is. Yeah, so just if I drop one of those. Okay. So we're reaching the point where I'm going to have to decommission this thing anyway. In order to make space for all of this. Right, that piece of pipe can be reused, as can all of that. What's actually in here? See if we can actually empty it. That would be nice. Right, so there's no pollutant in the... Oh, there is a bit of pollutant in the atmosphere in here, actually. Okay, so we'll let that finish draining, and then hopefully I can run that machine down. What I don't want to do is to obviously dismantle it and release that. Well, there's not much of it, but what of it there is, into the atmosphere in here if I can avoid it. Because at the moment it's neatly connected. So what I'm hoping is that... Why is that not going down? You can't do anything more with that, can I? Why is that not going down? Is it because that's on a valve and it's a pressure problem, I suppose? 4. And that's at 45, yeah, okay. So if I momentarily... what do I want to disconnect? If I shut that off for a minute, and I shut that off for a minute, if I can get in there, that should end up with that waste pipe eventually hitting 0 because it's got nothing else other than this coming in. It should be processing it down. I guess it depends whether it's all processing okay at the other end. I may have run out of filters. Okay. Yeah, that's not really doing the job, is it? Right, I'm going to have to go and investigate. That's kind of annoying. Right, throw him in there. I really don't like how that sticks through the wall. To deal with that. Right, I don't think I can do much more until I get that pipe to drain. So once that pipe drains, I can cut it here, connect this up, and hopefully salvage enough pipes to connect that up and rip out all of this. So I do need... Yeah, I do need to move all of that and this and that computer as well. Right, okay, well let's do that. It's probably about time to stop after that because this has been going ages now. Screwdriver. No, screwdriver. What are you doing? Cute. Come on, get it right. Right, this lot can all go downstairs. Not quite sure where I'm going to put the computer yet. I suppose it doesn't hugely matter. As long as it doesn't block the way in and out of this room. That'll work. I need to wire it up, which means I need to wire that left in here. It's never simple, is it? Always left things in the wrong place. Right. There we go. Okay. Computer is working. That's good. Okay, so that server room's actually in pretty good shape now, which is good. It might seem a strange thing to prioritise, but that's what's going to allow me to set up the warning network, which is going to hopefully prevent a few future crises. Right. Yeah, that's all I can do in there. I haven't figured out where that's going yet either. Although one thing I shall try is to see whether I can actually make it poke out the top there, somewhere accessible, because if I can, then that's the way to do it. I've got to bring it through the wall at the bottom on that side, but if I run it down and across and cross it over the water somehow, I'll figure that out later. Right, okay. Last thing I'm going to do, and then we're done. It's another classic over-length episode. But I need to go and sort out. Do I need to take anything else out with me? I don't believe I do. I expect I'll get out there and remember I did. To be fair, I could bring, not that one, the other mining pack. Where is it? I think that's the one with all the stuff in. Yep. Okay. Do that. And to be honest, I want the coal that's in there. Not sure whether that had whether it had been degassed or not, so at the risk of overheating this room violently. Okay, clearly had. That's fine. That can go through. If I'm going in anyway, it can be going to make solid fuel. Right. Cancel pressurise. I don't care about that. That's fine. We'll deal with it. Right, that's all my ice. Next time I think I'm going to have to be making some more steel, but for now... One thing that is going to be a bit of a challenge is when I want to connect this to the main hab with that hot gas tank where it is. It's going to be a little bit awkward. I might have to wait until I've used all my hot gas up and then move it. But I'll probably be coming through that wall there at some point. It's not too bad, it doesn't need to move far, but it does need to move a bit. I imagine it's probably empty at the moment. Yes, it is. Right, first things first, let's chuck this in here. And how's it looking? It's looking very much like it's not doing anything. Oh yeah, because the outside system is stopping me from filling it, isn't it? Okay, right, I need to turn that chip off. It's fighting with me. I've got to come up with a better way of doing that. Oh, yikes. This is clearly not doing its job very effectively. No, it's really not, is it? Still forgot to make more filters, which is the real problem. Plus it's down to 9 kPa in here. Don't understand why this is not... dumping nitrogen into the atmosphere. Those I can use later. That's actually helpful. Just in case it's somehow related to it being straight onto the pressure reg. It shouldn't be, but at least this way I can see what's in that pipe. That's 120 kPa, so that's fine. Oh, that's weird. I don't understand why that is not being more effective at increasing the pressure in here. Anyway, it's not. That's now running. Let's get those cleaned. Need to build longer life filters in here. Well, eventually I need to automate the whole thing with an atmospheric slurry. Right, I suspect most of my usable gas is probably stashed in there then. It's not a huge amount, but there's certainly some. Get in there. that one. Okay. Right. Almost. Get these ones clean, and then at least I should be able to empty all that waste tank, which should allow me to cut the pipes I need to cut inside. Right, let's see how this is looking. Definitely better. That's coming right down. Look at that. It's only a few pascals of pressure in there now, which is good. That's what I wanted to see. How are we looking up here? Okay. Yeah, we've still got a little bit of junk in the nitrogen, haven't we? So as a result, we've got a little bit of junk in the air. Actually, that one's not too bad. This one's got a bit, but it's almost zero. That one is now zero. Okay, that's looking alright there. Let's just check on that filter. 72%, that'll be fine. Okay, good. So this is all behaving. Even if we're getting some weird atmospheric effects, but it is behaving. The hot line is at 693. There's fuel. Okay, all good. So other than the lack of filters, this place is behaving quite well. So let's just see how this is coming along. That tank is now empty. That line is 2 pascals. I'm wondering what's still even feeding it at this point. It's not this line. Something's still feeding it. I guess it's maybe just what's being sucked out. Okay, alright, so that's at 41%. I should really change that one before I go, shouldn't I? I'll regret it if I don't. Atmosphere in here is 99.9% nitrogen. Of course, that's what's... No, because there's some nitrogen in it. That's probably the main thing that's feeding it, though, is probably the... Oh, that's all that was feeding it. Why is there nitrogen coming through at all? Why is that showing anything coming through on the nitrogen line? It shouldn't be. That's on the waste. All the nitrogen should be coming out that end. I am a bit baffled. Anyway, as long as it works. Yeah, there's a bit of junk in there, but that's down to almost so close to zero that that's fine. It's 14 MPa. I need to think about at what stage I put pressure relief valve on that, because that's just gradually ticking up and up. We're alright for now. Okay, so how much stored gas have I got? That would suggest I should be able to pressurise the greenhouse. Very little. No, in fact, both those very little is the answer. Okay. Right. Let's head back to the hab. No, let's not head back to the hab. Let's finish doing this and then head back to the hab. Turn off the output, turn up the input. Wallop it up to enough pressure to smelt, if it will do it. I don't know whether we've got enough hot volatiles actually. Oh, there's not much left. Might have to do some smelting before we've got enough to get the pressure we need in here. Yeah, I can't see that's going to hit 1 MPa, is it? No, there's just not enough. Okay, alright. Let's shut it down by doing that. Right, okay. Back inside.
Oxygen critical. Pressure critical.
Oh, I was hoping to burn off the last of the volatiles. Which obviously I've just managed to do, but that wasn't quite how I intended to do it. Okay, it's quite warm now. I'd quite like it if the door would open. Thank you. Yeah, not quite what I meant to do. I was hoping to do it while it was still in the venting phase. Okay. Right, let's get inside. Won't be using this airlock many more times, will I? Okay, so that is now empty. That scrubber is not quite empty. It's so close to empty, it's ridiculous, but it's got some liquid in there. Okay, well, I think that's good enough for me. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do that. And still got liquid in it. Okay, we're good. Right, and just double check that line is in fact also empty. Yes, okay, great. Here we go. The last thing I'm going to do before we end the episode then. It's quite a moment dismantling one of the first bits of equipment that I built. There we go. That can go over there. That can go that way. Don't really need the valve there, but we'll have it just for good order. Should actually open these valves again, shouldn't I? I forgot about that. Let's do that, and that. There we go. Lovely. And close that. And finally, it's right the first time. Oh, exactly enough. No, not quite exactly enough. What have I done? I thought that said 2. Never mind. Unless, did I put a strange... No, that was... I don't know. I clearly wasn't reading it properly. Right, okay. So that is in pretty good shape. Those... we will just drop down there for now. That pipe there. go towards the overall assembly down there. That can go out there. This can go out here, if I can get it in there, which is another question entirely. I may have to dismantle it to bring it through. Yeah, I'm going to have to. Okay, well, let's not worry too much about that for now. Dump that there. That wall can be closed up once I've rerouted this lot. Right, I don't really want it in the same cell, but I'm going to have to, aren't I? That's annoying. I'll move that one later. Hang on a minute. I don't need all of that up there. That's not right at all. I need that lot across there. Right, now then, okay, so it's actually really annoying getting in here. And stack them and take that pressure reg out. Now, let's put that there. If I connect that there, should work, I think. Does that look back on? Yep, good. I mean, I'm actually going to need right, let's get around here. So I can see what I'm doing. I'm actually going to need to get power into that blue frame anyway, because that's going to be where the elevator's going to go. However, right, for now, this is a better place to run it further across the ceiling. I think I'll... Oh wait, I'm going to want to open this piece of wall up later. Yeah, let's not do that then. Yeah, let's not do that at all. Let's have it coming out over here. It's a bit more of a fiddle for the cabling, but it's a much better solution. Goes there, that goes there, and I need the wire cutters, the wrench, put that in there, and then this goes along here. Okay, that's nice and neat and tidy. That wall can be closed up. That can go there. Then I just need to figure out how I'm going to wire that. I think the answer is I'm going to connect it off there. There we go. Perfect. Right. Okay. That's definitely getting there. In fact, those can be thrown down there now. Right, so I think next time I should be ready to seal that up. This will have to move a bit. I should have kept back one. Oh no, I don't even need any of that at all, because this is just going to become a normal doorway at that point. That's fine. Yeah, okay, alright. I think this is a sensible time to stop, because I can just see this carrying on for a very long time, but I've got the server room connected and got the first set of vertical services going up and down, and we are ready to pressurise downstairs once I have enough gas to do that. So that seems like a really good place to stop. This episode has probably been far, far too long, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you on the next episode. Bye for now.